in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a spinning image capture using only HTML and CSS3. Before we begin, quick reminder, I do a live stream every single day at 2 p.m. Eastern. So what you do is you go to ojambo.com, you pick the article, and you see it will have a little blog. Right at the beginning of the article, it'll tell you what time, day and time of the live stream, and you're free to ask any questions in the live chat about programming or lifestyle topics. Now, starting yesterday, I've been able to live stream to multiple channels. So although it says right here that you'll be able to live stream on YouTube or you can watch below, it's not just on YouTube. I'm actually streaming right now live on obviously YouTube, also on BitChute, on Odyssey, and Rumble. So if one of those are your preferred platforms, you can simply go there and you can join the live chat. If you don't want to see that, the video will be also embedded in the article below, so you can watch it from the website that way. For the other channels, I think what I'll do is I'll start putting the it'll be hard to put the links here because unfortunately BitChute and Odyssey, you cannot post date. It's kind of tedious to put them there, so they don't have a static one. So what you need to do is I'll show you at the end of the article. You can, if you scroll all the way down to the footer, it will show you the channel, and obviously there will only be one thing which is live. You can join that one. All right. Also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments. It inspires me to make tutorials just like this one, just for you guys. If you have any requests, post them in either in the live chat or also on a comment, or on a comment for the article. So you have multiple options to contact me and let me know if you enjoy this content. If you also don't like this comment, let me know, because I put out this content. Some of the content is obviously something I like to do, but some of the content like this one, for example, today is something that I think we could all benefit, myself and you guys included. All right, so building a simple spinning image capture with HTML and JavaScript. So I created another article where I was trying to mimic the TikTok. TikTok has a little image capture where it just spins around. So, but that one was a little bit complex. So this is a simpler one where instead of dragging your mouse, because that was kind of finicky, this one you just have to click the button here a few times. And I think this one is actually better because a bot won't be able to know how many times to click, because the position keeps on changing all the time as well, so it won't know. So this is probably a much better one. It's also easier to do. So with that said, yes. I said that you can add some JavaScript. You could do everything literally without any JavaScript, but I said I wanted to make it as simple as possible, so I did include some JavaScript, but you could actually do it without JavaScript. I think maybe in a future tutorial I'll show you how you can actually do it without any JavaScript. Yes, including buttons, which will work with the without JavaScript. We can also use the fake the checkbox hack. That's one way to mimic clicks. Okay, so where was I here? Yeah, so if you want to build a fun and user-friendly capture on your website without relying on third-party services, in this beginner level tutorial, we'll walk you through building a spinning image capture using only HTML, CSS, and as I said, JavaScript. This type of capture asks the user to rotate a small part of the image until it matches the background. It's a simple, effective, and a great exercise if you're just starting to learn JavaScript and front-end development. Okay, so as I said before, so we're going to have a background image. It's going to rotate like a puzzle piece, and then you let the user rotate the piece into place using a button, and it validates the solution when the piece is aligned directly. So that's another reason I use JavaScript, is because I didn't want to use a server-side language such as PHP and whatever, but I think I might do that in the future. Maybe we'll use Python maybe even Node.js or PHP to do the validation. The project is a great way, I already explained that, learning about HTML5 layout and image manipulation, CSS positioning and transformations, JavaScript event handling, and logic. So if you guys are impatient, I do have the code here for the HTML. I split them up so you can tweak it to your heart's content. You see here's the HTML, this is the so CSS for styling and JavaScript for interactivity. And here's also have an interactive demo for you guys. So for example, here you can see this is image, and you see I can rotate the image, you see like that, until it's in place. Then you can click verify, and then you say CAPTCHA pass. So for example, if I rotate this and it's off, if I click this, it says incorrect, try rotating again. All right, now where was I? So obviously you can expand on this as you just saw there. So maybe you can allow them to only click 2 or 3 times, and then you can give them a break for 2-3 minutes, because remember, bots they can mimic clicks or whatever. They can just stay there all day doing it. So meaning in less than a second they could probably bypass it. So I'm saying there's other things you can add to prevent that from happening, because as a human, it might take me maybe up to a second to press a click, right? But so if somehow someone is able to click in less than a second, like in millisecond level, like 100 times in 1 second, that's clearly not a human. That's how you can detect if it's a bot or not. All right, again, so we have an image. In case you're wondering why this image looks like this, that's because this image I used is one that was generated. It's right here. I generated using AI. The reason I did that is because I said before, Twitter somehow I'm actually blocked on Twitter for some odd reason. From the terms and conditions, it seems that I might have gotten some copyrighted, material, which doesn't make sense, because as I've said before, all the images I used were mine. I took the photos myself, except when I was, for example, doing a product review, I actually got the media kit right from the manufacturer's website. So I don't know what's wrong with Twitter, but it looks like I can't post on Twitter anymore. I don't know how long the block's going to be, and I might just abandon it altogether. All right, I might just stick to just making long form and short videos for other platforms instead. So as you can see, it rotates, and I already explained how it works here. Incorrect, rotate, try again, and then if everything aligns properly, it will be verified there. And as you can see, here is the embedded video, and this is a live video. We'll come back to this a little bit later. Now let's actually go here. So you can use any image you want. I just decided to make a square one. I said using AI. It's AI generated a mountain one, and I made it an AVF file, because AVF, as you can see, it's 13 kilobits. Let's see the size of this. It's 300 by 300, so it's also pretty small. I think I could actually get smaller than that if it was JPEG or PNG. But I said you can use any image you want. So this is the code here, called CAPTCHA_spin.html. So let's open that up, and we'll go through the code here. Let me zoom in. So the usual doc type, viewport here, just in case you have it on a smaller device. This is just for testing, it's not needed. And then the title and the head section, and this here is our CSS. So this relies mostly on CSS. So this is just to align things in the center. The font family is set to sans serif. Color background is a light, it's almost white. And the color, make it white, because I don't think there's any actual text. Yeah, there's no text. The container, text line center, and the spinner, the center width 300, the same as our image. You can also scale down the image using CSS, and then give it a margin bottom, as you can see here, 20 pixels, and it set the cursor to grab. So when you hover over it, you see this cursor, it'll change it to a grab cursor. You guys will see that when we test this. The transition transform 0.1 second or 100 milliseconds. and ease out. And if for the image itself, there's only going to be one. The spinner 100%, 100%. Obviously, we're going to take up the whole width and height of the container, 300 by 300. Display block, pointer events none. So we don't want, if you hover over the spinning image, we don't want it to have the any cursor there, because the image is not. In order to rotate the image, you actually have to use a button, not that. All right, and the message by default it won't have anything here. We set the file size to that to 1.5 em. So one em is roughly equal to 16 pixels. So 1.5, you guys can guess what that is. So that will be 16 plus 8 is about 24 pixels. And then the color is another, I believe this is red. This is a red color. Okay, and then yeah, so as you can see, this is the inside the body. We have our div for the container, then we have one for the spinner, then we put our image there. And you see by default, I'm using actually this tax image, but you can easily change it to any image you want. Now we'll do the mountain one. I wanted to do this tax one just to show you that it works with any image. The tax guy has to be, let's see the properties of the tax. It's 400 by 438. I just want to show you that any type of image will work. And as you can see here, we'll go to our JavaScript. So our JavaScript, it will say spinner. So get document by ID. Of course, you can use a query selector as well. Get element by ID for the spinner and the message. Both are IDs. You see, you have an ID here and I have an ID here. But they also have classes. Like we also have user classes. And then you see we use JavaScript for the rotation. We use math.floor, math.random, and then times 360. So it spins 360. So that's how we get to do it. And floor means if you don't, there's ceiling and floor. So obviously means that it will round down, not up. The reason we want to do that as well is because clearly we don't want to go more than 360, right? So down is better. Okay, so target rotation will be 0 and is dragging false and last. And the tolerance 5 degrees, which is perfectly fine. As you can see here, the transform, rotate that many degrees, the mouse down, meaning when you click the spinner, it will mouse down. Then there's mouse up, meaning your mouse, and then mouse move is dragging. So this allows us to do it with the dragging way, and the rest of the code is right there. So with that said, now we can actually go and check this out. Remember, it's going to use tax, but I'll show you when I put the mountain one as well. Now for this one, you if you want to use it on your phone or any other device, you need to have a web browser. Now, sorry, not web browser, an HTTP server. Now, because I'm just going to do it on the local machine, I can simply just drag and drop the HTML5 into any web browser. I don't need to run it because with a web server. But if I had a web server, it would work. So I've started up Chromium. Oh, I already have Chromium working. I just need to grab a copy of Chromium here. Okay, so here we go. It's going to drag and drop spin here. There we go. So see, that's the spin. So that was the spin code, and as I said before, see, that one was very what do you call it? That one was very complicated, as you saw. So I wanted to make something simpler, and I think it's this one. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. So this is the code we're going to take a look at, and I'm going to go back here just to show you how simple this code is compared to the other one. So the same thing again as before. And here is the CAPTCHA container. As you can see, we have 300 by 200 pixels here. I'll give it a nice little border and a border radius, as you see here, and overflow hidden. And then the image is 100% display block, and then the rotate piece, as you can see here, we're using background image. The background size 300 by 300, the background position, so you need to center them. And then the transition transform 0.35 is very similar to the previous one. Point events none. And then we have our buttons. We style our buttons there as well, anywhere you want them. I just give them a padding of 15 pixels by 20 pixels, or 15 by 20, meaning that the top would be 15 pixels. The top and bottom will be 10 pixels, and left and right will be 20 pixels. This is just a short form of writing 10 pixels, 20 pixels, 10 pixels, 20 pixels. And then the result here. So we have our container again, then inside we have the main image. It's, as I said, it's pretty much the same thing. And then we have rotated piece, and then the buttons here, and then the JavaScript. As you can see, again, we use get element by ID, and then the rotation. I'm only going to rotate it 3 times, 90, 180, and 270, the current one, and then it's going to be random of one of them. And then we use the style transform, rotate it based on whatever the current rotation is. And when you click the rotate button, it's the click, it's going to rotate 90 degrees divided by 360, and sorry, plus 90, and then meaning that it's clockwise. Okay, and then as you can see, it's style transform, very similar to the current location. And then verify, it will check to make sure the current rotation matches when the current rotation is 0, then it will be passed, you see, and then if it's not, it will just say incorrect. That's it. So it's much simpler than the previous one. And this one, as I said, we're not using the mouse to detect where the mouse is as left, etc. We just use the buttons. Much simpler. So it's exactly it's pretty much the same thing. And plus this one, we get to split the image as well. This mountain image. You can also use this tux, but I just wanted to give you a reason why I decided to create this tutorial. Make it much simpler. So it's better to start much simpler. You can make it complicated. So as you can see, every time I refresh the page, it randomly rotates, but it never perfectly rotates in the. If you notice, 0 degrees was missing, so it's always going to be one of the other rotations. And for example, if I click rotate piece, you see it's always rotating in different rotations. So I think this one, what I should do is when you click this, instead of going back to 0, I think that should be, yeah, well, that's fine. So for example, if it's here, you click verify, it says incorrect. If I rotate it again, it's still going to be incorrect. Again, incorrect. And then here, finally, it's passed. So that's it. That's the tutorial. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Nice and simple. So to prove that this is a live stream, if I click this guy, so for example, if it's here, you click verify, there we go. See, we're doing a live stream. So if you want to learn more, if you're getting started with JavaScript and want to build real-world projects like this, check out the following resources I created to help you level up. I have a learning JavaScript book on Amazon. It's a beginner-friendly guide with practical examples to help you master the fundamentals. I have learning JavaScript course, online course on ojamboshop.com. Last year, I also created lots of JavaScript courses. I was using the web IDE that comes with the course on ojamboshop.com. Interactive lessons and projects to build confidence through practice. I also offer one-on-one programming tutorials. If you need personalized help or mentorship, I am available for one-on-one sessions covering JavaScript, HTML5, and more. You can book a session on ojambo.com/contact. And final thoughts, building a custom CAPTCHA like this not only improves your front-end skills, but also helps you understand how visual feedback and interactivity work in real applications. Try modifying the code and make the puzzle harder, or even use your own images for personalized CAPTCHA experience. Let me know in the comments how it worked for you or what you would like to build next. Okay, with that said, that's the end of the tutorial. I do want to mention that I do a live stream every day at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can simply visit ojambo.com, go to watch menu, live sub menu. You can see the topics for this and upcoming tutorials. For example, this is the current tutorial, and this is what we're doing tomorrow. And you can see actually this actually ties up into what we're doing tomorrow, because tomorrow we're doing a contact form. So you can imagine for that contact form, before somebody hits submit, they might need to, or before they see the form, just to detect they're human, you can actually implement this onto that form. All right, and then yeah, also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more content. And I said, if you want me to do a specific tutorial, let me know. I'll be able to help you guys out. And then I also have some other resources. So for example, I created this novelette this year. It's called the Algorithmic Serpent, because most of the stuff I do is usually programming. Sometimes you just need a break from programming. So this is about, there you can see right there, it's a scientist creates an AI and then he loses control of it. So it's a pretty fun little novelette, and that's the back there, as you can see. So it's a paperback. There's also an ebook version. If you have Kindle Unlimited, it's free. So you can go read it. Then I also, if you guys, I'm in a rural area and I use satellite internet. I use SpaceX Starlink. So I do have a referral link. If you're thinking of getting a residential service, you can click my link, and if you do that and also purchase it, I'll get 1 month free, and you also get a discount. I think you get a discount for 3 months, depending on what geographical location you are. So that's pretty good for you guys as well. And I think, oh yeah, I promised to go in the footer. So in the footer here, you can see I have a link to my, for the author, I have a link to all my other books, obviously the programming books, including this Algorithmic Serpent. If you need help, you can check out my services at ojamboservices.com. And if you want to learn more, I do have the online courses or ojamboshop.com. Now, if we actually go to the footer, as I promised, right here in the footer, you see the channels. There's Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, and YouTube. So you can, if you use any of this, if you want more, I don't mind joining, and I can add it to the live streams as well. So right now it's Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, and YouTube. Okay, so that's, I'm checking the live chat on YouTube. I don't see any chat requests. So let's go and check out BitChute. And BitChute, I also do not see any chat requests, so that's perfectly fine. I'm checking Odyssey. Let's see what's going on with Odyssey. I don't think anything's happening with Odyssey. Nope, nothing's happening with Odyssey. So that's, I'm talking about live chat. And yeah, I'm coming back to YouTube just a second. I'm checking Rumble now. Rumble, I also do not see one, so that's perfectly fine. There's one that came in for YouTube from oh, I don't know if I hope I don't butcher your name. Unan, I think it's Unan Tapa. He says hi, so I'm gonna reply. I'm gonna say hello as well. Hello. Did I say that correct? Unan? Hello, Unan. Hope I said that correct, Unan. Thanks for joining the live stream and the live chat. Okay, so with that said, I am going to end this live chat, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. Have a great day. What is happening here? I'm showing you how you can create an image capture where you, for example, let me write. That's not wrong. Oh, that's what it's UHAAN. That's what it says in the. That's what it says in your whatever that. Yeah, it says your name is you. Oh, maybe that. Okay. Okay, no problem, no problem. All right. So as I say, when you refresh, you see it's gonna randomly. It's gonna take a piece of the image. It's gonna put it here. So if I click verify, you see it's gonna say incorrect. So what you have to do is you have to click this rotate piece until it's perfectly rotated. You see in the original image, and then when I hit verify, it says CAPTCHA. So it's a CAPTCHA which you can create yourself with a few simple lines of code. Oh, the pronunciation. Okay, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant to say. Okay, sorry about that. I'm not familiar with that. But anyway, so that's it. So I'm just gonna end the chat, and I hope you subscribe and like, and yeah, if you have any other comments, let me know. I'm happy to do that. Can you teach me HTML now, man? Absolutely, I can teach you HTML. You can contact me. I have links below. As I said before, there are several ways. You can go to my online courses on Ojambo show. No, I mean, I can. You can contact me. You can send me a DM or something because the tutorial is over. Okay, so what else do you want to learn? You can contact me through, let's see, through the links on the website ojambo.com/contact, or the description in the video. Oh yeah, absolutely. So for example, like let me just show you quickly. I don't know, maybe you came late. You can see this is the code I'm using. You see, let me zoom out a little bit. So you can see this is HTML, and I did some styling. That's the CSS here, and then more HTML here, and then this is the JavaScript right here. I don't want to be a code. I just want to understand what the code is, what the code do on the site. Yeah, absolutely. So I do have the, if you notice here, I do have the code here. If you want to play with it yourself, you see you see where it says expand source. So if you expand this one, you see you'll get the HTML. You can grab that HTML and just put it in any text editor. Then you can grab the CSS. You see this is the CSS. You can wrap the script in a script tag, and then obviously you have to wrap that in HTML, and the other one you have to wrap it in a style tag. That's it. Now, if you don't want to learn any coding at all, or you want somebody or something to do the coding for you, I do have another option for you, and that is no, I know. I'm saying is that there's another way you can learn. I think coming up soon, I have a tutorial. Yeah. You can also use AI. So in about 2 days from now, there's another AI you can. Okay, I got you. Yeah. So if you do follow me, you can also, if you subscribe to the channel, I do post something about HTML or CSS at least once or twice a week. So you can come back and. You can watch those ones. I do go through all of them piece by piece, so that's another way to learn. I also do another one which is the Blender Python API. That one is also done in a web browser, so that's another way. Yeah, you don't need to know how to program. Is what I'm trying to say. It's very easy to follow along. So that's another way to. You're in the right place. You learn. I have lots of, if you actually go to ojambo.com here, let me open this up in a different browser. I have lots of HTML tutorials as well. So for example, even the editors you should use. So for example, you see I just recently reviewed this one, Notepad Next 0.12. You can do that. So if you're looking for an editor, it's all in here. So this is what I was talking about. You see this Blender Python API for the website. So this is another simple way. Yes, just ojambo.com right here, ojambo.com. Just go to ojambo.com. You go to ojambo.com, and there's lots of tutorials. For example, if you want to learn HTML, you can simply just click the search button here and just type something like HTML, and you see there's a lot of HTML stuff that will come up, and a lot of examples. There's videos as well. So there's quite, you see there's 40 pages. There's 40 pages, and each page I think has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you do the math there. So 8 times 40. There are a lot of stuff that you can learn, and they're all meant to be beginner friendly. There's nothing too complicated. If there's something's complicated, let me know. I don't mind creating a simpler version. Like, see, like today's tutorial is a simpler version of the. Oh, okay. Yes, I'm glad you said that. Yes, I tried, because when I was learning HTML, CSS and JavaScript, I was learning from like people who were experts, and they would go too fast for me. They didn't have that, or they would have like a very simple example, but then they would leave a massive gap, right? So what I try to fill in is I try to start at the beginner level, like when I was a beginner, and then show other things you can do, so that it making the learning more fun, instead of just the boring, just code and whatever. You can see what you're going to do as well. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So as I said, see my examples here. I do like a gallery here. This is a required attribute. I explained that here, and then this one is rotating cards. And this is a rotating cube. I said there's a lot of stuff. And this one I made a spreadsheet like a graph plotter. And this one is a drag and drop for like when you upload. Yeah, I'll be here as well, 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Every day I do a live stream at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So I don't know where you are, but for me right now the time is like, right now it's at 2:34. So because I started at 2 p.m. So if you come back tomorrow, same time, I'll be here. For example, you can see here all these tutorials. I see all of them at 2 p.m. Eastern. All of them at 2 p.m. Eastern. So, for example, for you, if you come back tomorrow, although we're doing PHP, most of that is actually going to be HTML and CSS. Yes, 2 p.m. Eastern. That's correct. Yeah. So wherever you are in the world right now, I'm going to be back same time tomorrow, just minus half an hour. For example, right now the time for me is 2:35 p.m. So, oh, it's midnight for you. Oh, sorry about that. Wow, sorry about that. But it won't really matter, because after I finish the live stream, you will be able to what do you call it? You know, the videos will be there. So, for example, if I click on this guy, this rotating HTML5. Okay. If you go down here, you see the code, the video is still here, so you can watch the video. The video will still be there for you. Yes, I think you mean SQL injection. I think what you mean is SQL injection. And yes, I do know it. So SQL injection, you mean? I think that's what you mean. I think what you mean is SQL injection. That's where yes, this you can also do some of that as well, but basically when somebody inputs something in a form and then you just basically put that into your database, that's a SQL injection. So yes, I'm aware of that. So that's why I explained that a little bit in tomorrow, that you should never trust user input. You should at least sanitize and validate it. I'm actually going to talk about that tomorrow as well. Absolutely. Just to let you know, on some days, like the last 2 days, at 8 p.m. my time, I did also do some night live streams, but that's rare. Well, they're, yes, I said they're different, but they're kind of related, because usually the stuff that goes for SQL injection is based on what came from the HTML. So I do understand. I said if you watch tomorrow's tutorial, I will go over those as well. Even though I'm not going to do any database stuff, but yes, that's usually how it starts. Usually from forms. You can also do it from the URL, but normally it's from the forms. Yeah. So I said I'll go over that tomorrow. So tomorrow's tutorial is actually perfect for you. So you can watch it anytime you want. And I said sometimes I do some night, at least for my time, So if it's 8 p.m., that would be surprising. 8 a.m. for you tomorrow. Yes, I'm a freelance programmer. So I do have another site. Actually, we can actually go to it from down here. If you right here in the footer, should be here. Okay. Well, yeah, I actually haven't talked about this site. I did revamp it. So you see ojamboservices.com. You see this is my services site, ojamboservices.com, and you see here I offer apps, websites, tutoring as well here. So that's the one that's my day job. What about the thing you do except programming? I just like programming, and obviously in my free time I obviously do stuff like this. And I'm now living in a rural area. I don't know if you missed that. I live in a rural area, so I raise chickens. Actually, right after this live stream, I'm going to go check on the chickens. I'm also building a shed so that I can have some a greenhouse, so to grow my own fruits. And that keeps me busy all day. So I have a regular job. I do live streaming. I just help other people out as well. And then I said I look after the chickens. I have 4 chickens. I built the hoop coop they live in, and I have some raised beds where I'm growing some fruits, raspberries and blackberries. So that's what I do. So I'm pretty happy doing that. Okay, any other questions, any other comments? Okay, yeah, so I said you can contact me. Just go to ojamboservices.com. You see, or even Ojambo Service. If you go to ojamboservices.com, you can go to the contact page. You see, you can fill out that information there. And also on ojambo.com, you can also go to the contact page. There should be a contact page here. Where is it? Account. Oh man, I can't even find it. Actually, let me make this bigger. Contact right there. So you go to the contact. See, there's a contact form here. No, I just told you. When I was learning, it was very hard for me because what do you call it? When I was learning, I said it was very hard because I had to learn from people who are experts, and they didn't want to waste time on people like me. So it took me a very long time. And I said the information wasn't like the way it is now, where you can simply just search and then you find some tutorials. Like I said, I've curated a whole bunch of tutorials I've been making since 2009. So there's it's much easier today to learn. And I said there's books. There weren't books when I was learning. Even just 2009, there weren't any books on HTML and stuff like that. So when I was learning, people were telling me that I was wasting my time. I should learn Flash, and I knew Flash was a dead end. So I predicted 100% accurate that Flash was a dead end, and I never bothered learning Flash. I just went to HTML, and it looks like I made the right choice. And I still tease those people who told me that I should learn Flash. Nobody would take me seriously because I don't know anything about Flash. Well, Flash, as I said, was a dead end. And I'm glad I never learned that. That would have been a complete waste of time. HTML is still here. Yeah, exactly, yes. So H1 is for headings. And for example, this one here, which this where's the mouse here? This guy here. If you can also inspect. If you go to inspect, it will show you the code. You see that's an H1. So that's an H1. You can tell very easily, and the rest are basically just paragraphs. Yeah, you don't know Adobe Flash? I'm surprised you don't know Adobe Flash. Wow, Adobe Flash. It was. You want to talk about HTML injection? Wow, Adobe Flash. Yeah, that was a very popular. What was it? It was two things. It was both an application and it was a bunch of code that you would put on your website, and you could do animations. Actually, YouTube was very popular because for the first I don't want to say 10 years, but YouTube I think started in 2005. So for about 6-7 years, the predominant way to embed was actually using Adobe Flash. So it was very popular. It's something from the 90s. Yeah. So that's why. Yeah. See, you can read more, but I'm saying it's no longer Adobe no longer supports it. Yeah, they had the Flash player. Yeah. So there were websites. If you're old enough to remember when websites always crashed, the reason was because of Adobe Flash. Sometimes Java, mostly Adobe Flash. Yeah. So that was an. I'm glad I never did learn it. No, you don't have to learn it. Remember, it says right here, it's no longer supported. So you don't have to learn it. Just Java, HTML5, JavaScript is all you need to learn. Take your time. Don't rush. Take your time. You know how I did learn? The way I did learn was I found something I like, which was the forms, and then that's how I became better at it. So it's like anything in life. If there's something you like, for example, like cars, that makes it easy to become a mechanic. You can't just become a mechanic if you hate cars, right? If there's something you like, it makes it easier to get into it, right? That's my motto. At that time, and I'm on the internet that time, but I don't know how it will be Flash. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah. See, Adobe Flash is end of life, so you don't have to learn it. Don't bother trying to learn Adobe Flash. And if you're young, it's good. I said I can point you in the right direction. So learn HTML, learn HTML, and CSS and JavaScript, and you'll be fine. Actually, most of the programming right now is going towards more JavaScript, like Node.js. So if you learn that, you'll be good for a good 10 years plus. Even though they're both getting old, but they've been around, and it's going to be around for a while. So, so actually, let me grab a text editor here, and I'll show you. Let me zoom in. So what I recommend for you is you learn HTML. HTML is a markup language. You can learn CSS. CSS is for styling. What is wrong with this? Why is it not working? CSS, and then JavaScript. When you learn JavaScript, it will make your life so much easier because you will be able to do things like Node.js. And Node.js, you can actually make applications. I even have some applications I've made with Node.js. There was also there on Ojambo.com. Golang is the future. What do you say on this? Golang is, it's not a bad language, but the support is very, very low. So there's another language as well, you know, some other languages like, as you said, Golang. There's Rust. I think it's actually called Lastlang or something. There's Rust. And there's a whole bunch of others, but they're still new. So I would wait a little bit. But if there's something you like about them, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and learn. I'll give you an example. I learned C very, very late, right? Although I'm an old guy, I learned C very, very late, and I still program in C. For example, my Android applications, there's always some C code in there, and C is actually pretty old. It came out in the 1960s, even older than me. So much older than me, but there you go. So if there's a language you like, sure, go ahead. I'll tell you some other languages that I do know. Obviously, I know Bash, that's for Linux. What else is there? I know, as I said, C. I know PHP. I know Perl. Oh, yeah, Python. How did I forget Python? I know Python. Now, these three programming languages, PHP, Perl, and Python, they're very similar. So if you know one of them, it will be easier to pick up the rest. For example, PHP and Python, they were inspired by Perl. Now, Perl Perl is actually you might actually even know a little bit of Perl if you know how to. For example, regular expressions. Most regular expressions are all based on Perl. Regular expressions. Regular expressions. So yeah, so that'll make it easy to get to Perl. Bash scripting, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, you got the bash. Yeah, the bash scripting. I do some of that as well on the website as well. I have tutorials on that. I think I have tutorials on everything, maybe except for Perl and obviously Golang, and I even have some Rust tutorials there as well. So, and I have Node.js, JavaScript, Bash. So all these languages are there. Yes. Dennis Rich. Oh yeah, Dennis Rich. Yeah, he is the guy who he was one of the, I believe, the co-founders of C programming language. Am I right? Let me see. I think it's Richie, isn't it? Let's see. C programming history. Yeah, Dennis Ritchie. Yeah, Dennis Ritchie. I was right. So Dennis Ritchie is Bell Labs. He's the one who developed the C programming language. Yeah. So there you go. So you do know a few things. In JavaScript is a popular Angular, Node. Use whatever you like. I like plain JavaScript. I usually don't like. I'll tell you why. This is my personal opinion. You don't have to take it with a grain of salt. I like plain JavaScript, and the reason is because if you use any framework, right? So some frameworks would be like jQuery, what is it, Angular. It doesn't matter what you use. You could use what's the other one, 3JS. It doesn't matter what you use. The problem is you need to update them. So whatever framework or you use, you need to update them. So the problem is sometimes when I work, the client might hire me once a year, right? So I cannot, in good conscience, have that client type of person hire you. So that's why I prefer to use plain JavaScript, because with the plain JavaScript, I don't have to worry about updating, because when the web browser is updated, the JavaScript will also be, any issues will also be resolved. So that's why I shy away from using those frameworks. Not because they are bad. I just say that's the reason that's the reason I shy away from them. But they do make your life easier. I do admit that. For example, when I was learning, speaking of JavaScript, you know how I learned JavaScript? It was because of jQuery. There's a guy called Chris Coyier. He owns CSS Tricks. So that's how I did learn. Actually, I did learn HTML because of him. Yeah. So some people claim that plain JavaScript is very hard, so they use frameworks. For example, jQuery. If we actually search for jQuery here, jQuery. You see jQuery, it says it's a fast, small, feature-rich JavaScript library that simplifies HTML document traversal, event handling, animation, and Ajax. So this was especially true back in 2009, but I think JavaScript has made things, JavaScript has been inspired by all these frameworks and libraries, and it actually has things you can do yourself. Same with CSS. Like with the CSS, some of those CSS compilers such as SAS, they have inspired CSS to finally come up with like some variables and things like that as well. So I'm not against frameworks or compilers, but I said the only thing is who's going to maintain them. That's my take on that. I said, like, if a client is hiring me once a year, I can't in good conscience use external libraries which could have security issues, and then every 2 months, 3 months I say, you have to pay me now to update it. That's not fair. Okay, so I use the best tool for the job. Now if a client insists on using them, yeah, I'll use them, because then I'll know that 2-3 months I'll need to update or upgrade them. So that's good for me. But I do I do let people know that that's the reason I prefer plain JavaScript. But yes, so or sometimes it's actually even faster to just use plain JavaScript instead of using these libraries, because these libraries you have to load them. For example, jQuery in the past used to be very, very small, but now even though you can pick and choose what components you want, it's very, very, very big. So I'd rather write a few more lines of code in plain JavaScript than use jQuery, because it loads this massive library. These days it doesn't make too much of a difference, because phones, for example, are pretty powerful, and some of them may be more powerful than some workstations. So, but I still prefer to be lean. I hope that explains the difference between plain JavaScript and these libraries. And some of the libraries, for example, like 3JS, if you're doing 3D stuff, it just makes your life easier. No problem. I'm glad I can help. And I said, yeah, I'm always here, and you can check out the rest of the channel. I have lots of resources for you. You should be fine. And I said you can always contact me. I showed you several ways to do it. You can join the live chat like tomorrow as well. You can leave a comment and etc. No. You know what? It's always better to ask questions. Don't feel bad for asking questions, even if it might seem repetitive. Don't feel bad about it, because that's how you learn. Right? You learn by asking questions and making sure you understand. If you don't ask questions, how are you going to understand? No problem. I'm glad I could help. I'm always glad to help. That's one of the things that I make these videos, because I want to help people. I want to make sure that they have the proper information and they improve. That's what inspires me to make these tutorials. I'm actually glad I could help. You see, I stayed back because I'm glad to help. Yeah. So thanks again. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. That helps out the channel, and it helps because when you subscribe, other people will see that people are subscribing, and they'll be able to get the free content, and the content is all free. It's all there for you guys. So I give the content in two ways. Yes, I do have a Discord, but I rarely use it. I even have I do have a Telegram as well. Let me see if I have that information here. Give me a second. I rarely have time to go on Discord or any of those things. So let me see. Let me type in Discord. Oh no, that's not my Discord. Okay, that's somebody else's. Let me see again. Okay, no, I don't have Discord. Is that Telegram? I do have Telegram. That one I'm actually on more, so I'll give you my Telegram. You can look for me at Telegram. That's my Telegram if you're on Telegram. Otherwise, I said I'm here every day doing live streams. I don't know what my Discord is. I don't think I created a server. But I think I might do it in the future because it's been requested. At least you're the second person who's requested Discord, so I might make a Discord server. Yeah, you can look for Ojambo Shop on Discord. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what my thing is, but yeah. Yeah, so that's my Telegram. At Ojambo Shop, that's my Telegram. I'll try to make the same with Discord. I'm not sure if I did. I can't remember. I also have a GitLab and I have a GitHub, but I'm rarely there as well. So I said the best way to contact me will definitely be on the live chat, or on the comment sections, or the contact form. That's the best way to. Yeah, I'll try to get a Discord server, because I said it's been requested a few times. So I will. You can look for me there. Just look for Ojambo Shop. I'm not sure if I have a server there, but I said I'll see if I can spin one up. Oh yeah, so I have also lots of stuff on Git. I do a Git related topic every single day as well. So if you go back to, where's the mouse here? If you go back here and you just doing the search, you type for Git. I have lots of Git stuff, you see? I have the how you can self-host your Git, PHP, Laravel, Git here actions. There's a lot of Git stuff here. Git ignore. I actually just recently, I think about 12, did 12 articles and videos in a row about the beginner stuff for Git. So if you this was the last one here, Git fork including pull request, Git merge request. There's a lot of stuff for Git, and you can see for Git here, remember there's 8, so 8 times 20, so there's a lot, and there's even more on YouTube that I did for Git, so there's a lot of stuff there. No problem. I'm glad to help, and I said, yeah, if you stick around, you will learn programming from this channel, definitely. And I also use open source software, so it's free and anybody can install it. It's usually closed platform, so you shouldn't have any problem as well learning. All right, I gotta run, but thanks again for the live chat, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Bye now.